Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop summation for all your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. Alrighty, so here we are on Sunday the 19th of March 2017 for another round of releases in the simulation world, and we're going to get started as we usually do in the flight simulation world, and we're going to get started this week with some scenery releases. So we saw a really interesting little release from a fairly small developer, the sole proprietor of FSX 3D. So he specializes in some small, rather obscure but kind of cool French airports, and we've seen his latest release this year of Barcelonnette, which is in the Saint-Pour area in France. Now, this is a really interesting little airport, and he's gone to some insane detail in this. It is absolutely insane. Now, okay, now as I said, this is a tiny airport. Like, this is tiny. It's an 800 meter runway. It's primarily used by a gliding club and for day VFR operations going through the mountains. Now the scenery that it's in, like the area that's in the real world, is just absolutely spectacular, and that's really been brought to life here in the ESP platform. It really has. Like, it's insane. Now, as I said, now this thing's got very highly detailed buildings, but are still low poly, so very friendly on frames, but incredibly detailed hangars and the chalet buildings for the actual servicing of the airport and the gliding club. The runway textures look absolutely insane. Very high HD, very high definition textures include there. Now, but what's really interesting here is that they've modeled the sloping terrain around the airport like incredibly well as well, which just looks really cool. Like, it is perched on, like on the side of a mountain, so it's kind of important that you get the sloping terrain, so that's important. You've got the beautiful reflections of the runway textures with the environments as well, but the really insane thing here is the level of integration with SODE. Now, SODE, for those who may not know it so much, basically is a tool that allows you to animate buildings. Now, normally it's used for things like animating jetways using something other than the default one that's included in the ESP platforms. But this developer's taken it one step further to the point where you can open and close hangar doors, and you can open and close the windows in the chalet. Like, this is insane! Like, absolutely insane. The detail that's gone into it is just nuts. It really is. As I said, it looks amazing, looks incredible. For a one-man team developer, like, this is just absolutely amazing. It really is. Now, not only, as we usually see with all these high-quality add-ons, not only do we see just the airfield model as well, but we see the area of the surrounding mountains as well as being covered in photoreal as well. So not just and not just as I said, the photoreal of the airport itself is in 25 centimeter per pixel, and then the area for up to 1,200 kilometers square kilometers around it is covered in up to 1 meter, between 1 meter and 80 centimeter resolution. Like, it's just insane how details have gone in this. Now, it's fully compatible with all the popular stuff, including the FTX Global and the pilot's terrain mesh, which is a very common one throughout the community. Does recommend to use HD Orbix Trees HD from Orbix, and as I said, it's very suitable for gliding operations and small light aircraft because, as I said, it's primarily a glider base, and looking at this terrain, it'd be amazing. But as I said, this is insanely detailed. It does also have a price tag to go with it, at looking at €30. So it does have a price tag to go with it, but as I said, like, if you appreciate low and slow flying and detailed stuff, then you know what, you're probably going to appreciate it. So yeah, it's probably going to be up to you there for you. Includes full charts for the area as well, but just looks absolutely incredible. Available now from the FSX 3D website. I'll put the link in the description down below. Yeah, available now. Alright, and continuing on with scenery releases this week, we saw the guys from Wing Creation. So a Japanese-based company. Now, they've done quite a few sort of releases over the last few years for the ESP platforms, and they've come to us with their latest release, which is a Mount Fuji Shizuka I think that's how you pronounce it. I probably got it wrong, but yeah, Shizuka Airport in Japan. So this is in the Shizuka Prefecture in Japan. Obviously very close to Mount Fuji, so it's the primary airport for any tourists and locals coming in to see Mount Fuji and climb Mount Fuji. As I said, it's looking now. This also looks incredibly detailed. Like the work that's gone through here on this one is just absolutely outstanding. It does have full custom land class and full seasonal photoreal textures as well, which is nice and cool. So as your seasons change in the sim, your ground textures will change as well, which is always nice to have. Beautifully high definition textures. Again, beautiful custom animated jetways. Night textures looking amazing. This is fully detailed based on how the airport looked at the beginning of 2016. So with the 2,500 meter extension for the runway from its original 2,200 meters in length. So it's very much capable of handling pretty much anything you can throw at it. As I said, the quality of the detail that's gone into, the attention to detail that's gone into this airport is just, again, insane. Like, some of there's such really high quality releases coming out at the moment. Like, it's really incredible to see. And if you're looking for a new destination to fly to in Japan, this is probably going to be one that you want to look at. Now, the other thing that I really love about this is that it's incredibly good value for money. Now, this is available only at Sim Market at the moment. Not sure if it's going to become available elsewhere. But it's coming in at Sim Market at 20 euros. But what's really insane with this is the fact that not only do you get the main airport, you get the surrounding area, but it's the amount of surrounding area you get. You get 2 additional airfields in here as well. Now, they're fairly simplified scenery versions of them, but you get the Shizuhama Airbase. I don't know. Yeah, I got nothing. Got nothing. Anyway, Romeo Juliet November Yankee is the ICAO for that one. You get a simplified version of that military airfield. You get a Miho airfield, which is a small private strip nearby as well as 2 huge port complexes, the Shimizu and the Yazoo port complexes, and other additional towns and landmarks from the Shizuoka city center and surrounding areas. It's just, as I said, like, this is a huge amount of detail that's gone into this, and not just this airport, but also the surrounding area. So, huge thanks and huge congratulations to the guys over at Wing Creations for an amazing production here. So, looking amazing. As I said, available now. Only available at Sim Market, coming in at 20 euros. Regional equivalent available now. Alrighty, in aircraft releases, moving on to aircraft releases for the ESP World this week. So the first one we saw is from the guys over at Black Box Simulation. Now, I've fortunate that I have a copy of this. Black Box Simulation have released their Scottish Aviation Bulldog version 2. So originally it was released by their predecessor company, PSS. Before the developers changed and rearranged and moved on to becoming Black Box Simulations. So they've they've completely redone it from the ground up and re-released it as their Bulldog version 2. Now, the Scottish Aviation Bulldog was an iconic part of British aviation throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and I think well into the 90s as well. But essentially, being part of the University Air Squadron and being the primary platform that the Royal Air Force did basic pilot training on. So yeah, it's just looking absolutely beautiful. Now, as I said, I'm very fortunate that I have a copy of this. I have gone through, I've had a play with it. I've taken it for a ride, and it is absolutely amazing. It really is. It really is. Now, Black Box Simulation is a group that I'm not too familiar with, because most of their other products are tube liners, but I'm really grateful for getting a copy of their Bulldog, because this is looking amazing. Look out for the full review of this aircraft coming available on my channel very, very shortly. Currently available from the website, available now for 16 euros, or your regional equivalent, fully compatible with all of the ESP platforms. But as I said, you're looking at some incredibly detailed high definition textures, a beautifully detailed model as well. You're also going to be looking at both the. It's got a couple of different models in there, including the most common one, which was the one for the Royal Air Force. But it's also got the original SK-61 variant, which was designed. Because funny enough, it was actually not designed for a Royal Air Force requirement. It was actually originally designed for a Swedish Air Force requirement, and then was then later on marketed to the Royal Air Force, and the Royal Air Force picked it up as their primary trainer. So yeah, really cool. But yes, as I said, it's fully detailed, beautifully modelled, incredibly well done. The sound set is awesome. Taken from a real aircraft, because a lot of these have passed into civilian hands following their retirement from Royal Air Force service. It's got the black box simulations pre-flight manager as well, which is kind of interesting. Probably my one bugbear with it, but anyway, as I said, the actual model itself, the flight model is amazing. The 3D model is incredible. The sound set's awesome. As I said, the full review, you'll see it coming up this week, but if you can't wait for that and you do want to pick it up, it is available now from the Black Box Simulation website. Link in the description down below. Thank you very much. Amazing. Looking amazing. Anyway, moving on. Alright, okay. In other aircraft releases this week, so this one is a really interesting release this week. So this week we saw the release of this is a freeware, so this is the best price ever for free. So this is a release of the MV22 Osprey. Now, this thing is just... The Osprey is such a bizarre and cool aircraft. Like, it really is. Now, this comes to us from user Mariardi. Now, Mariardi basically went, he was sick of the less than good quality payware V22s that were out there available, and decided that, you know what, I'm going to go and make my own, and I'm going to give it to the flight simulator community for free. This thing looks stunning. It is absolutely incredible, as I said, and it's free. So this is fully compatible with FSX and P3D in all its forms as well. Looking amazing. I've taken it for a few flights now. But fair warning, it is simulated very well, as best I think as you possibly can, inside of our current crop of simulators. It uses a lot of custom coding, a lot of custom gauges, and it's just... Yeah, I put it this way. I have cooked these engines many a time learning this aircraft. I really have. So it definitely pays to read the manual. Please read the manual if you're going to do this. So yeah, there you go. But as I said, is this available for free? Stunning work. If you do want to donate to him, consider buying him a cup of coffee, because seriously, this thing, it looks absolutely stunning. Now, I just want to do another huge shout out as well to fellow YouTuber Firehawk FSX. So the video of this aircraft that you're watching comes from his channel. I've put the links to his videos and his channel in the description down below as well. Thank you so much. He's done a really awesome basic tutorial, get yourself going and get yourself started video that it's half an hour long, but believe me, sitting through it watching it all the way through, you will learn a lot from doing that. You really will, and it will get you in the air a lot faster, a lot smoother. So take the time and watch the video. So thanks, Firehawk. Well done for that video. Awesome work. All right, thank you very much. As I said, available now for free. Awesome work. Looking amazing. Go get it. I don't know why you're still watching. Click the link. Anyway, alright, moving on to other aircraft releases for the simulation world this week. So, again, we saw another couple of re-releases for Steam Edition this week. So we saw the guys from Aerosoft release their A318, A319, and their A320 and A321 packs, re-release them onto FSX Steam Edition. So these are the same two packages that have been lurking around on the Aerosoft shop for a number of years now, just modified and brought over onto the Steam platform. Look, you know, here's my thing. I don't have either of these. I've never flown either of these, because as long-time viewers of my channel will know, tube liners are not my thing. Good luck to everybody who loves tube liners, but they're not my thing. So, you know, I've never got these before, but I understand that they are good quality versions of it. You know, especially for the price they come in at, they're very, you know, they're very well done, and gives you a good feel for the aircraft. Now, couple of things to note, a couple of cool things, cool, interesting things to note for these that I'm just going to point out for the Steam version. So the Steam version comes with liveries. Now that's a very rare thing that we see for releases on Steam Edition, where at least some of the liveries are included, and it has been officially licensed from Airbus as well, which is interesting to note. Now the other thing that's interesting to note, and I'm not sure if I'm happy about it, is the fact that the original release, the release that's been around for a while, has full integration with RAS Professional, available, like integrated from the ground up. It's ready to go. Just if you got RAS Professional, bang, plug it in, and off you go. They removed that from the notes that I'm reading. It looks like they've removed that from this version, so you only can use RAS Professional with these if you have RAS Professional via Steam. So, again, if you are only a Steam Edition simulator player, for a pilot, then you know what, that's probably not going to be such an issue and you're all good. But if you're a multi-platform simmer like myself, then you may already have had RAS Professional for other platforms, and then it would be like, anyway. But again, like a lot of with the Steam Edition releases of these aircraft, it's always something to consider, whether you buy it through the Steam store or whether you buy it from a third-party retailer, so you can actually install it on your other platforms. But I shall leave it up to you guys to decide that one. The Steam Edition is a little bit cheaper, about 10% cheaper it looks like. So not a huge amount of saving, but not too bad. But you can get it as a couple of packages, so they do have a couple of package deals going. So you can get all 4 types of aircraft together as one pack, or you can combine it together with the aircraft with RAS Professional for F6 Steam Edition, or get all 4 types of aircraft and RAS Professional together for one package price. And that deal as well is actually a pretty good deal, actually. Again, so if you are an FSX Steam Edition only pilot, that package of the 4 types of aircraft plus the RAS Professional for F6 Steam Edition, that's actually a really good deal, just FYI. So if you do want to go for tube liners that are pretty damn detailed, with RAS Professional as well, probably think about getting that one. So yes, available now. As I said, all these are available now. If you are going to buy them standalone though, you are looking at $45 US, the regional equivalent for the A3 2021, and the same price for the A318, A19. So they're not cheap, but they are a quality add-on. So yes, there you go. Available now on Steam. Alright, now that wraps up the flight simulation release news for this week. So moving on into other simulation platforms. This one, I'm going to move on to ground level. So have a look at it. This one's a little odd. So this one's called Virtual Rides 3. Now, for the life of me, I couldn't find any information about Virtual Rides 1 and 2, which is a little concerning. But anyway, look, this is coming in at $25 US, and basically seems to be... Look, at the top level, it looks something very similar to the couple of races we saw recently, Roller Coaster Tycoon and Planet Coaster. But delving into it a bit more, it becomes a lot more hollow. You can't actually change anything. There's 10 attractions, so 10 rides, but they're fixed. You can change the colors on them, you can change the lighting, you can add fog machines or strobe lights to them, but you can't actually redesign them. Like, you can't actually change them. You can't build additional attractions. You can't move stuff around. It's fixed. The park is fixed. Now, yeah, so I'm kind of like, well, what's the point then? I think that they kind of okay, well, it looks interesting, but it doesn't seem to really give you that simulate. Okay, you can simulate being on the ride. Okay, you can do that. That's cool. But you can't really simulate much else, really. Just, you can't control the park. You can't, change stuff in the park. And graphically, it looks not too bad. I'll give it that. But yeah, as I said, it just seems to be a bit odd and a bit confused as to what it actually is wanting to achieve. So yeah. So I'd probably would recommend that if you look at this, probably consider getting Planet Coaster instead, because I think you're going to get more mileage out of that than you will out of this. But anyway, each to their own. As I said, if you are interested, available now, $25 US or your regional equivalent, available now on Steam. Alright, sticking at ground level this week and moving on with other releases. So, again, another one of those interesting reboots and re-releases. So this is Real Heroes Firefighter. So this title is actually dates back to 2012, I do believe. 2013. So it's now been remastered and rebooted. Essentially, it's a first-person firefighter simulator based on a very old version, I think, of the Unreal Engine, like a very old version of it. Look, I'm not going to go into it too much. They haven't really updated, like, none of the voice acting's been updated. They've just really just updated the graphics a little bit and just brought it to run on modern 64-bit systems. That's kind of all they've done. But it looks interesting, and it's got a bit of mileage in it. It doesn't have a lot of replay value, but it is kind of interesting as well. So, if you wanted to experience firefighting from a first-person perspective, this might be something that's you might want to consider picking up. And at the end of the day, for the price that it is, it's not too bad. Coming in at $10 the original equivalent. As I said, it's been updated, so it looks better than the original did. Not by much, but it is looking a little better. I'd probably look at picking this one up on like a Steam sale or something if you're going to look at this one. But yeah, or actually go have a look at the Aerosoft one that Aerosoft do. That's a lot more detailed. So yeah. Anyway, but yes, if you are wanting to pick this one, available now on Steam for $10 or your original equivalent, available now. Alright, continuing on with other simulation releases this week. So, the guys from Ride 2 have released their latest piece of DLC, and this one comes in for free. So, we always love free stuff. So, if you are a Ride 2 user, you'll be able to activate this DLC activate this DLC for you for Steam. So, this gives you 2 new bikes. So it gives you the Honda CB1000R, which is a very minimalist sort of design bike. So no sort of big fairings or anything like that. It's just pretty much just raw power, and that's it. You get on it, and you're getting on it like a virtual rocket, and off you go. So yeah, very interesting design, that one. So that could be interesting to you, but very very grippy on the brakes apparently. And the other one, the other vehicle that comes in with this one is the F4 Mamba. Which is again a very very high powered bike, but this time with all the carbon fiber extras, but weighing in at less than 20 kilos. Like, that's insanely light. That's insanely light to have an actual motorbike that comes in at less than 20 kilos. That's batshit insane. Anyway, but yes, as I said, these 2 new bikes, you can add to your Ride 2 collection for free. Just log into Steam and activate now for to be able to zip around the course in these 2 new bikes, available now on Steam. Alright, and rounding out the simulation release news for this week. So this one I did sort of report it a couple of weeks ago, but I just want to cover it off again. So the actual official release now. It is now actually just officially available. So the guys over at Dovetail Games have brought their new generation of train simulators finally to public availability. So it was in early access and sort of closed beta for a while. And been on pre-sale for about a month, but it is now fully available. Available now. It says Train Sim World, so the first part of Train Sim World with CSX heavy hauling. So basically, this is the This is the next evolution of Train Simulator, and incredibly detailed, right down to a lot more first person. So actually being able to get out of the cab and actually walk around the train and actually do stuff to actually get your train operating correctly. So that's an interesting take on it as well. Incredibly detailed. The graphical engine is just looking insane. I'm not 100% sure what they're using. I want to say they're using the latest version of Unreal, but I'm not sure. But either way, this is looking incredibly detailed. But don't expect to see any of your stuff being ported over to the new platform anytime soon. The other thing that I can't seem to find information about either at the moment is if there's a SDK. I don't see one of those available. I'm not sure if it is going to be there. Bit of a shame if they don't release one, because that would be a bit of a mistake, I think, if they don't release it. But anyway, but otherwise, yeah, looking graphically very amazing. But it is very resource intensive, so bear that in mind. But yes, available now for $40 US, available now on Steam. Alright folks, so that does wrap up the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for joining me. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.